You may have realized that I have been on a bit of a mission to find what I consider the best LED light therapy mask, especially for redness, sensitive skin, and honestly just calming my face down a bit. I'm obsessed with LED therapy ever since just getting amazing results from my first ever LED mask. And today I have one that has really impressed me, and a sponsor for today's video, the Ulike ReGlow LED Mask. Now, let me be honest with you, I get a fair few requests for sponsorships when it comes to LED masks, right? They seem to be everywhere, not showing off or anything, but a lot of them I turn down, and I'll explain a bit more what I look for in an LED mask in a bit. But when I saw this one, I gave it a quick Google, I had a look at other reviews, and I was like, you know what, I really want to give this a go. And I really like it. Am I ready to declare it the one, the winner, the best LED mask? Maybe not just yet, but it's definitely setting the bar really high. But let's talk about it, because it took my skin from this to this in about 3 weeks with consistent use. That's key. And let's go back for a second. Let's go back right there. Topical products are great, right? Serums, creams, all of that, but they can only go so kind of like deep into the skin. They can only do so much for your skin. And I do feel like at my age now, I'm 36, I do feel like I've hit kind of like a wall when it comes to like what topical things can do for my skin. I started my Tret journey very recently, not in conjunction with this. I gave this a good go first. But other than that, I think the only thing that's really going to make a difference is LED, because LED therapy goes beyond that surface, as we know. It stimulates those deeper skin layers to trigger healing, collagen production, and reduce inflammation, especially red light and infrared. They are like the ultimate skin kind of like reset session, and infrared is what really got me interested in LED light therapy in the first place. Real results that go beneath the surface, not just like surface level moisturizing or like a surface level temporary glow, which I feel like is what a lot of products are doing nowadays. Take a look at this picture here and you'll see exactly how different LED light colors work on the skin and how deep they can actually penetrate, making them great for a multitude of different skincare concerns. I've tried quite a few masks over the years. Some were okay, like fine. Some were very flimsy. Some didn't fit over my nose, which is kind of like my main concern. Some had really weak light output. Some were ridiculously heavy, and some just felt hot and sticky. And I genuinely dreaded putting them on my face every day. And at a certain point, I was starting to wonder, like, is it me or is it the mask? Is it my face shape? You know? But the truth is, really, the reality is that the build quality, the LED strength, and the specific light wavelengths really do matter. As you know, whenever I talk about these masks, I always get asked about the light wavelengths in the comments, because you all know what you're talking about too. So let's go back to the Ulike ReGlow. So Ulike's chief scientist, Michael R. Hamblin, is known as a global pioneer in phototherapy. He's the founding chairman of the Society of Photo-Optical Instrumentation Engineers and the Photobiology Annual Conference, with a plethora of papers and academic monographs under his name. So we know we are in good hands when it comes to how LED light actually works on the skin, how much you need to work on the skin as well. You know, I like to deep dive into the brands and their CEOs and founders, so I found that genuinely interesting and kind of reassuring as well. They also come with FDA and SGS certifications. You like to know history, certificates, and science, so there we go. So when the ReGlow arrived, the first thing I noticed was how sleek it looks. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be heavy. Like, this is like, it looks solid, you know? But it's so lightweight, but very solid still, not flimsy whatsoever. And most importantly, it's designed to be worn comfortably, not just look good in photos, you know, for influencers. And straight away, a few things stood out. As I mentioned, some previous masks for me can feel very suffocating, but here there's no like sticky, sweaty silicone pressing onto the face. It actually kind of lets you breathe underneath everything. A must for me, a kind of like non-negotiable is eye protection. And we have an eye shield built into this, so no blinding yourself every time you turn it on. Meaning again, you can walk around this, go about doing your chores and stuff. And the number of LEDs is insane. 272. For comparison, a lot of other masks on the market barely scrape 130. There are also 4 times more LEDs in the Ulike mask. In fact, 4 lights per slot. I will show you a close-up here. So 4 times more light, 4 times more power for more visible results. I mean, that's kind of crazy when you compare it to like the other LED masks on the market. Okay, so let's talk about how I use it. Very simple. I think we all know nowadays, but I always cleanse properly. I do a thorough cleanse. Applying it to cleanse skin makes it different. You want to make sure that light is touching the surface of your skin, being able to penetrate the skin. You don't want to be using like photosensitive products in any way. You know, you just want to use it on nice cleansed skin, but I also find it just slots into your routine easier that way. Evening routine, cleanse, pop this on, do the rest of your routine, right? Then I choose my mode depending on what my skin needs that day. I say that day, I try to stick to one mode per week, and we have 4 therapy modes, not just 1 or 2 like a lot of other masks, so a good 4. So we have glow mode for dullness and uneven tone, which uses red light and infrared and yellow light. Firm mode for fine lines and kind of like sagging on the skin, which uses red light and infrared light. Rejuvenate mode, which is the one I use a lot, which focuses on redness and skin barrier repair with yellow and infrared, and clear mode for acne, breakouts, which uses blue and red lights. So depending on the week, I switch between them. This fits like a lightweight helmet and sunglasses kind of hybrid, right? Very lightweight. You just kind of like make it a little bit comfier. It has these Velcro straps on the back with this like headrest. I didn't think this would be as important as it is for my user experience, to be honest with you. This just makes it so sturdy, so comfortable, easy to adjust as well, so it fits on my head properly. It kind of like swivels like this a little bit. Can you see that? On the axes with these Velcro straps here so you can readjust easily. So it sits so nicely and comfortable on the head that I can let's just lounge around the house, as I mentioned earlier, do chores, whatever. Other than the evening routine, I mostly wear my LED masks when I'm just answering emails, doing the kind of boring admin work I have to do throughout the week. One thing that really did stand out to me about this mask in particular, that when I was they sent so much so many details. Like they sent me everything. Any question you have about this, I could probably answer it because they sent me so much information about these products, the tech, the science, everything. One thing that really stood out to me was the 360-degree mirror reflection technology. Here's the thing, right? Most LED masks waste a lot of light. It just kind of like not floats away into the air, but it kind of like escapes around everywhere. You know, you have like a gap on your forehead like this if you use those flat ones. And this mask kind of like traps in the light and it kind of bounces it back onto your skin, which means better absorption without needing extra heat or extra sessions. It's actually been shown to speed up collagen synthesis by up to 73% faster. So not only are you getting more light, you're getting more out of the light itself. Going back to comfort is not really something that people talk about enough when it comes to LED masks. And if the mask is uncomfortable, heavy, sweaty, or blinding, you're not going to stick to using it as regularly as you should. It's like a good sunscreen, right? You're going to be consistent with a sunscreen you like. You're going to be consistent with any product you like. This includes tools. It's genuinely comfortable. Comfortable to wear. It does mark a little bit on the nose, but that goes down like 30 minutes. I found this with every mask with an eye shield. There's not a mask out there that doesn't do this. It's light enough that I can sit and work or watch TV whilst using it, and the eye shield is great. No red beams in your line of sight kind of thing. So the modes kind of range between 5 to 8 minutes, which is like kind of standard. And the brand says you can actually combine modes together as long as you're not exceeding over 20 minutes a day. So you can kind of like hit multiple concerns at once. So before starting with Ulike, I obviously stopped using my other LED masks, and to be very honest with you, I got very lazy anyway. So before I used this, I probably wasn't using an LED mask for about a month, to be very honest with you. And whilst it takes dedicated use to see results, for me, it takes about 3 weeks of not using an LED mask or one bad sunscreen to irritate my skin. More recently, I've been testing more for all that hard work to completely be destroyed or reversed. And before using this, my skin had some definite redness, is kind of default for me, particularly around the nose and cheeks. And the texture was a little bit rough and uneven. Nothing too crazy though. And after weeks of consistent use, the redness is visibly calmer as expected. My texture looks much smoother and my skin just feels less reactive overall. Even after like walking the dogs, being out in the cold or being out in the hot weather as well. It's not dramatic, overnight Photoshop effect results, but it's real progress, which is something I always stress with these masks. You need to take a before picture and track your progress because it's easy to become like disheartened by lack of results by these masks. But when you look at that before picture and where you started and see what consistent use gets you, and you're able to see that in front of your eyes, it like encourages you to carry on, right? It's real progress. And most importantly, it feels sustainable and not like a short-term fix. So remember, consistency is key with LED therapy. It's not a miracle overnight product, but it genuinely works if you stick to it. And I say that over and over and over because people always like, I'm not seeing results. How often do I need to use it? I'm like, all the time. So is Ulike ReGlow the best LED mask I have tried? Honestly, it's up there. It is way up there, especially if you're dealing with redness and sensitivity like I am, or you want something powerful but comfortable and wearable. The build quality, the technology, the 4 light therapy modes, the comfort, it all just comes together really, really well. So if you want to try the Ulike ReGlow for yourself, I have a discount code linked below. Use my discount code here. And also, if you want a red light therapy journey, please drop a comment. I hate that word. I don't know why I said that. Sorry. Drop a comment in the comments below. Tell me what's worked for you and what hasn't. I would love to know. But yeah, sponsored video, but love it. I love this. When I have about 4 masks laid out in front of me, this is one of my go-tos. So yes, I hope you enjoyed today's video. You can watch some more product reviews here. Some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.